Good morning, it's Rebecca from Rebecca Inc. Today we are going to draw a rhino. What you need for this project is a pencil, a marker, and an eraser. I'd like to thank Tori for giving me this suggestion. She wanted to learn how to draw a rhino, so today we're going to learn how to draw a rhino using simple shapes, and it will end up looking something close to this. So put me on pause, gather up your supplies, and come right back. All right, you are back. We need to orient our paper horizontally. So make your paper out in front of you, lined up this way. And grab your pencil. You're going to use a pencil. I'm going to use a marker so that you can see what I'm doing better. We're going to start in the left-hand corner of your page. Our rhino today is going to take up our whole piece of paper. So start in this corner so you've got room to get the whole guy in there. Okay? We're going to draw an oval for our rhino's face, and it's going to be about this big. So you're going to get your whole arm moving with your pencil in your hand, and you're going to start drawing a shape about this big, an oval about this big. Move your whole arm from your shoulder, and once you feel like you've got a nice shape going, put your pencil down, and you'll get an oval about like that. From there, we're going to add in a few shapes. At the base of that oval, let's draw another oval. Something is buzzing. Sorry about that. I've got my phone on top of my iPad trying to record to figure out how to make this live for some people on Instagram. Okay, anyways, so we've got our oval, and then we've got another oval, and from there we're going to add on another oval and angle it about like that. Okay, at the tip of that oval, we are going to draw like a slice that comes down. Just like that, down to our circle. How I'm doing that is I'm planting my wrist and I'm moving my hand just in the natural way that my hand is going to move. I'm not using my fingers actually, I'm just moving from my wrist, my hand in that natural arc that it's going to make all on its own. Let's go back into this little over here and add in another oval for the nose. So far we've got an oval for the face, an oval for the nose, an oval, and a little arc. That's going to be our horn. Okay, next up, we're going to draw a little oval right here. And on top of that oval, we're going to draw a little triangle, just like that. So we did an oval and a triangle up and down. You can fill it in, or you can just do the top. I think you can start to see that is going to be the tip of the horn there. Just below that oval and triangle, we are going to draw a little bit larger circle, right like that. And inside that circle, we're going to do another circle. And inside that circle, in the very center, we're going to do another circle. That little circle, you're going to use your fingers to create. You're going to plant your wrist, and you're going to move your fingers in that shape, and when you arrive at it, you'll put your pencil down, and you'll draw a nice little circle. I think you'll surprise yourself. Now we are going to draw an arc over top of that. Again, to get the arc, I'm planting my hand at the wrist, and I'm moving from the wrist in just the natural motion that my hand's going to go in. All right, so we pretty much have the shape of our rhino's head. Let's move up to the body. So at the top of this oval, we're going to draw another oval. It's going to be about this big. So get your arm going from your elbow, from your shoulder. Draw a nice oval about this big and about that wide. Getting your whole arm going, and you're going around and around and around. See how I've got some that are inside, some that are outside. in the long run, we're using these shapes as guides. So when we switch over to our marker, we're going to find our favorite one and we're going to trace over that. Let's connect these two shapes using a triangle. We're going to make a nice, long, skinny triangle here. Just like that. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. That can be our little code. All right. From here, we're going to add in some ears. We are going to draw a little circle right here. And inside that circle, we are going to draw a rectangle. Just like that. Nice little rectangle. And on top of that, a triangle. To get those shapes, I'm planting my wrist and I'm just moving my hand up and down and over and over and over and over. I'm using a combination of my fingers as well as the natural motions that my wrist is going to give me. So that's going to end up being our rhino's ear. Now let's draw the ear on the other side. That ear is going to live right about here. And we're just going to draw a nice little rectangle about the same size as that one. Because we're seeing this ear from a different perspective. So we're not going to see the tip of it. We're going to see the flat part. We're going to draw a nice rectangle, just like that. All right. Next to this oval, we are going to draw another oval. It's going to be a little bit fatter and a little bit taller. So get your arm going from your shoulder in a motion to create an oval that's going to be about this big. Once you arrive at that oval, set your pencil down. Here we go, my marker wasn't working. Set your pencil down and draw a nice oval about that size and about that thickness. Go around and you'll eventually arrive at a really nice oval shape. Let's connect these two ovals using a triangle. Just like that. See that triangle there? It's going to connect those two shapes. Next up, we need a big long oval for our rhino's body. That oval is going to be about this big and nice and wide. Think of it almost like the shape of an egg. Just like that. Nice wide oval for our body. At the end of that oval, let's draw another oval going vertically again. Just like that. If you're like me, you're almost out of paper. If you haven't sized it right and you want to try again, you can pause me and go back and draw all these shapes. You can watch this over and over if you need to. But I think you're doing good so far. So let's keep going. At the base of that oval, we're going to draw one more oval. It's nice and skinny. This will be our rhino's tail. It's nice and skinny. Let's add in a few details on the top here to connect some of our shapes. We're going to add in a little triangle right about here. So it'd be about 3/4 of the way back on your body oval. We're going to add in a triangle right there. It is a flatter triangle, just like that, on the top of our rhino's back. Then we're going to add in some connecting shapes. So let's add in a little triangle here to connect our ovals, our body oval and our hind end oval. And then let's add in another one between this oval and that body oval. We'll add in another triangle just like that, right there. Okay, let's make sure I've got them all here. I think I do. Let's move to the back end. We are going to draw that front foot coming off of that hip there, and we are going to use rectangles and ovals to do it. So we are going to, their legs angle back like that. So we are going to draw a rectangle. It's about the same width of our oval, and we're going to angle it back like that. To do that shape, you can either get your whole arm going and drag your pencil across the paper, or you can plant your wrist and move your hand, just your hand. That is up to you, however you want to do that. From there, let's add another rectangle. This one's going to go almost straight down, just like this. And on the back of that rectangle, getting tongue-tied, you're going to add a little triangle. Give us the shape of their leg. At the base of those shapes, we're going to draw an oval for a foot. The oval is going to go a little in front and a little in back of our rectangle, just like that. To get that shape, get your arm going from your shoulder and go ahead and draw around and around and around. I'm going to scoot this back so you can see a little bit. Here we go. Okay, we have our hind leg made. At the base of this hind leg, it's important for us to get our front legs and our back legs lined up. So we are going to draw a little line straight up just to give ourselves a guide so that this front foot, when we draw it, will line up with that back foot. Right along there. Can you see that okay? Okay, now let's go and let's draw our back leg, our hind leg. This one is going to be another rectangle. It's going to come straight down and over, just like that. Down and over. We're going to add in a little triangle there. And off of that rectangle, let's angle it in with a smaller rectangle. To get those rectangles, I'm planting my wrist and just moving my hand. Then I'm drawing that same oval at the base of it. Let's add in another guide for ourselves so we can get this other leg lined up. I'm going to just draw a simple line moving forward. To get that line, I am moving my whole arm from my shoulder back and forth, and then I'm just setting down my pencil to get that line. You know how people always say, I can't draw a straight line? Yes, you can, and that is how you do it. Get your whole arm going, and that larger muscle movement will help you get that straight line. So you go ahead and do that. Give yourself a guide. Now let's go back up. Remember when we drew that second oval in the body of our rhino? We're going to add on a leg to that. So we are going to add in a rectangle that goes up into that shape, just like this. Nice and loose. We're not overthinking or stressing about it at all. Nice rectangle there. Off the back of that rectangle, we're going to add in that triangle, just like this. Little triangle there. And then at the top of that, we are going to add in another triangle. Now this triangle is going to live at a little bit of an angle and then come up and back down. That's going to help us get a really cool little wrinkle when we go to draw over this with our markers. Okay, let's add in the bottom of that foot. So we're going from the knee down to the ankle and then to the foot. So we know that those shapes need to live all in this area, all the way down to that first bottom ground guideline that we drew. So we're going to draw a rectangle coming down, just like that. Then we're going to add in our oval. Let that oval go a little in front and a little behind that rectangle and let it sit right on top of that line. Next up, we're going to do the back leg. The back leg is going to be bent backward like this, kind of heading toward that other back leg. We're going to draw one large rectangle for that leg, and it's going to live right about here, and over, and right back up, just like that. Going behind that shape. And then we're going to add in that foot. Now my rectangle came all the way down to that line, so I know my foot needs to come up into my rectangle. Nice little oval there. On this one, I'm not letting my oval go behind. I'm going to line it up with that rectangle and draw it in. Let's give ourselves a few little guides so that when we go to trace, it'll be a little bit easier. We're going to go around this back oval, you're going to pick a spot and just make a little bit darker line. Pick your favorite oval that helped you get the shape that you want. Just put a little bit darker line there. That will give us a little bit of help in their guides. And then around this nice egg oval that makes up most of the body on our rhino, we're going to do the same thing over toward this end. We're going to just do a little bit darker line with our pencil just to give us a little guide. Okay, I think we are ready for our marker. So put your pencil down and grab your marker. I'm using a Sharpie. You can use whatever kind of marker you have at home. And we're going to go around and trace our favorite lines and create a really cute rhino. Let's start at the nose. Remember when we drew that oval? We're going to draw around that oval and then just slightly around the base of it. And then we're going to stop. Next up, remember when we drew the arc? We're going to just draw right over that arc we drew, connecting down to the face. A little bit around the oval of that head, and then around that oval at the base of that horn. Next up, we're going to go over the triangle, and then back over that oval onto our connecting triangle, all the way over to the rectangle. So we did a little bit of the oval, and we did our arc, then we did the oval at the base of that, back up to the triangle, a little of the oval onto the connecting triangle, and we stopped at the ear. For the ear, you're going to go up to the tip of that triangle, draw over the triangle, down into the rectangle, and past our connecting line there. Just go just ever so slightly past that. On the other side, you're going to go from the tip of the triangle onto the rectangle, and then you're going to stop when you connect with that body. Then we're going to follow the top of that connecting triangle, and we're going to go up onto that oval, over the connecting triangle, onto the top part of that oval, onto the connecting triangle, up to the tip of that triangle, from the tip of the triangle down to the oval connecting triangle, and to the back end of that oval. See how we used all those shapes to help us build the body of our rhino? From there, we're going to draw around that oval onto that little oval that we drew. When we get to the base of that oval, I want you to just give a little flick, just like that. Then go back up to the inside of that oval. Follow that down, and when you get to the bottom, give a little flick. And then I want you to take your pen and draw a little flick right like that at the base of that tail. And we're going to go back up onto this back oval that we drew, and we're going to go over our favorite line and a little into that back leg. And then we're going to do around that rectangle, past the triangle, down to the ankle. So you drew around the oval, a little bit into that rectangle, and then you went back and you did over the rectangle, around the triangle, back onto the rectangle for your foot. Let's trace around the oval that we drew until we get back up to the connecting shape. So we're just going about, I don't know, what would that be, 2/3 of the way around that oval? Then we're going to go, let's go, remember where we made that darker line there on the oval to give ourselves a guide as to where to start? We're going to go up to that line. We're going to follow around our oval, past that back rectangle, up to that front leg again. So you're going to go around that oval, then you're going to draw right over that rectangle and right over that rectangle. And you've got yourself a leg. Can you see that coming together? Let's do the same thing on the back line. If you want to take a second and give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're following along, I'd appreciate that. I'm new to these tutorials, and any feedback I can get is helpful. Okay, so now we're going to go to that back leg. We're going to trace around that front line of that rectangle. We're going to stop at the knee, and we're going to go from the knee to the ankle. We're going to go around that foot, back to where it meets up, and then back up. On that back line, I'm drawing the rectangle into that connecting triangle to create that shape for the back leg. All right, next up is our belly. Our rhino has a really cool belly, and it's the bottom part of that egg oval that we drew, that giant oval. We're going to find the bottom part of that, and we are going to connect it to this leg where we had that triangle there. We're going to draw from there all the way over. I'm going to choose my fattest line because I think that would be the coolest. You can choose whatever line you want. Trace right over what you already drew. You've done all the hard stuff. Now you're just tracing over the lines that you've already drawn. Let's do this front leg. We're going to go up to that rectangle right there. We're going to draw down to the knee, knee to ankle, and then around our foot. Now that angle right there is uncomfortable for me, so I'm stopping and I'm going to go around from the front around to the back. You can do the same if you like. From there, we're going to go from that front foot up onto that leg, back up around that rectangle. Remember where we drew that guide right there? We're just going to go ever so slightly into that guide, just like that. Let's do our back leg. We're going to go down from the knee to the ankle, from the ankle around the foot, just like that. And then from the body down to our foot. Can you see our rhino starting to take shape? I hope you can. All right, let's do this last little part up here, and then we will add in some cool details. We're going to go from this first oval. We're going to take that oval where it meets there. We're going to draw into that and back and around, just like that. And then from there, we're going to go from the chin around that face oval. And then let's go from the nose around that front oval to the chin. And let's add in the nose. I just do a little circle all the way around, just like that. Just down from that nose. Put your pencil or your marker on that oval and just cut in with a little smile. Give him a little smile, just like that. Now let's go around the eye. We're going to draw the base part of that circle. And then we're going to draw the line that we used to slice across. And then we're just going to fill in, and we're going to leave that white spot white. Okay, now to add in some fun details. Rhinos have that leathery skin, and so we're going to add in some of their wrinkles to give them that. So let's go up to the nose. We're going to add in a little arc right above. Then we're going to move over and put a little arc right beneath that tusk. Then on this eye, that larger circle that I gave you, pick a few spots around that circle and just trace over them ever so slightly. It's really good. Actually, at this point, if your hand shakes a little bit, that's perfect because these wrinkles need to look wrinkly. So let your hand shake around the base of that ear, that circle that we drew. We're just going to add in a few of those little wrinkles. Now let's go to the neck. I've got this oval, this big oval here that I drew. I'm going to connect that to the leg, and I'm going to follow it up just a little bit, just like that. And where our leg met up with our body, and now we've got that little triangle, I'm just going to fill that in nice and loose and add in a few wrinkles there. At the top of our leg, where our rectangle came over, I'm going to follow over the top of that line just a little bit, and I'm going to give it another little echo, And where we drew our triangle right here, we're going to color in, trace over that back end of that triangle. This line and this line to give ourselves some nice wrinkles. And then I'm going to add in a little wrinkle there. Let's go back to the neck. We're going to just color in. I'm just using like a up and down motion, and I'm just coloring in just a little bit right there, just to give it some depth. And then I'm going to add in just a few little wrinkles. You add in the wrinkles wherever you want them. They have tons, so you can't add too many. I'm going to give another little hint right here at the knee, where our rectangle came down and met up with the bottom part of the leg. I'm just going to add in, following that rectangular shape, I'm just going to add in a little up and a little over. Just like we did over here on the belly. We are just going to add in a little shading up and down on that belly. I'm really loose with this, and I'm kind of going over some of those pencil lines that I drew to arrive at that shape. They're actually helping me figure out how much do I want to shade in. And do you see how that's nice and loose there? I'm just going up and down and up and down, and then at the bottom where I've got a few little white spots, I'm just going to fill them in. So take a second and do that. If I'm going too fast, pause me, fill in your shading, and then come right back. Just have a few more details to go, and then we're ready to erase. At the top of this mark here that indicates our hip, we're just going to add in a few little wrinkles there. However you want to do them is perfect. And at the top of that leg where we cut in, we're going to add another little wrinkle there. Same thing for the knee, where we have that rectangle line, add in a wrinkle. And on the ankle, add in a wrinkle. And back to that back leg, add in a wrinkle there. If you want to add in some wrinkles on your other back leg, you are welcome to do that. Now up to the tail. A fun little thing about the rhinos, their tails, they have these little lines almost on them. So on your tail, just take your marker and just add in a few little marks just like that, just drawing straight across, and you will get a cool little detail on your tail. All right, we are ready to erase. So set down your marker. I'm going to switch back to my guide so that I can erase right along with you. Grab your eraser, and you're going to hold down your paper and start to erase. Nice and gently, back and forth. Erase your rhino. If you have some suggestions on what else you would like to learn how to draw, send me those in the comments below. What do you want to draw? Is it somebody's birthday and they like kitty cats? Let me know their name and that they want to draw a kitty cat. I'll tell them happy birthday and we'll teach them how to draw a kitty cat. All right, got some of that going. You are going to be left with a really cute rhino after you get it all erased. Make sure to erase your guidelines too. You can be done here or you can color it in. Send me pictures of what you drew. I will put them up on my website as well as let them live on my Facebook page. I'm loving to see what everybody's creating. If you're looking for some other things to do today, you can check out my website, RebeccaInc.com. I've got downloadable coloring pages on there. I've got all the pictures everybody sent me of everything that they're drawing. All of that is on there. You can also find me on Instagram at RebeccaIncabink. I'm trying to get some things put up there from what I'm working on in the afternoon. I'm a little behind in that, but you can scroll down and see some stuff that I've been working on before all this hits. So I hope you're having a good day. Stay home and stay healthy, and join me back here tomorrow and we'll do another drawing together. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.